Hey, and welcome back to Coffee Chats. I have given up on saying what episode we're on because I've just lost count. Um, but today I am so excited because I am here with Mia, who is at exactly like the other girls on TikTok, and she is the creator of the Hot Girl Walk. And I am so excited to talk to her because I just love the whole concept. It's great. Um, so yeah, I'm just very excited. She's currently on a walk, which is very fitting. um, so yeah, Mia, what are three fun facts about you?
Hi, so excited to be here. Thanks for inviting me on. Yes, very on brand of me to be on a walk right now, but at least I live my truth. Um, let's do three fun facts. Okay. Fun fact number one, I have a younger sister. Her name is LIND, and she actually has more TikTok followers than me. She has like over 100,000. I
Wow.
cannot remember how many. So that's fun fact number one. Fun fact number two is I went on a 22-mile bike ride this morning, which is very like out of my comfort zone, but definitely something new I'm trying.
Wow.
And then fun fact number three is once I was on a flight to London and sitting right across the aisle from me was Robert Pattinson. He was obviously in first class. Well, I was not, but it was crazy. And I was just hoping he would fall in love with me because I was like 13 at the time. And of course, that was like the biggest deal. So
Okay.
it was,
That's a weird
yeah,
answer.
it was like a 13-hour flight too from LA to London. So I was just sitting there the whole time thinking about him sitting like a foot away from me.
Wow. I wouldn't know what to do. I would be like,
I was just fangirling in my seat. And actually, it's the first time any of my content has gone viral because I tweeted about it. And I got a lot of Twitter hate because I got a lot of girls being like, you don't deserve to be sitting so close to him. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's crazy. I guess he has a pretty strong fandom.
yeah. So, what has been the highlight of your week so far?
I'm going to say highlight of my week so far was actually my bike ride this morning. That's something that was really challenging for me and something that I never would have been able to do if you asked me a year ago, like, Mia, would you ever see yourself going on a bike ride for 22 plus miles or 20 miles? I'd be like, what the heck? No, that's not my vibes, but um, definitely embracing a new lifestyle and pushing myself outside of my comfort zone.
That's amazing. Like 22 miles is a long way.
I was proud of myself, and I also went with my brother, so it was also like a good bonding moment, and got to spend a lot of time with him. And it's definitely different riding an actual bike than like a stationary one, which is what I'm used to.
Yeah, I actually really want to get back into like bike rides because I used to do it so much when I was younger, but I haven't done it in ages.
Yeah, they're definitely a lot of fun. Um, it's kind of scary though because I'm in Los Angeles and people here drive so quickly. So I try to stay away from cars.
Yeah, yeah, I feel like you need like a nature place. Um, so this is also quite fitting because you said you're on your way to get coffee. So what is your coffee order?
My current coffee order from Starbucks is an iced Americano with a splash of oat milk. And then I do like 1 or 2 pumps of the sugar-free cinnamon dolce. And I love the taste of like actual coffee. I mean, I don't put sweetener or anything in coffee normally. I normally just drink it black if it's like from like a really good coffee place. But if I'm going to Starbucks, I'll add some fun stuff in it.
Yeah, yeah, like at home I usually just have like maybe like a bit of vanilla syrup or something, but if I go to a coffee shop I have to get like a fancy, like whatever their special is or whatever.
Yeah, that's definitely the way to go. What's your coffee order? Can I ask that question? Or are
Yeah,
you asking questions?
you can ask. It's very different here from America, I think. Like, we do have Starbucks, but it's not the same at all. So we have this like place called Costa, which is, I would say they have more like fancy drinks than Starbucks here. So I tend to go there, and at the moment I've been getting like a toffee spiced. I really don't know why they're doing toffee spiced in summer, but anyway, like a toffee spiced thing, which is really nice.
That sounds so good.
It's so good. And they have this
I
like
know.
sugar on top, and it's amazing.
Are you do you do it hot or iced?
Iced, always iced.
Okay, amazing. Right answer. There is a wrong answer, and the wrong answer is hot.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have a hot coffee today, and then I just never enjoy it as much.
No, the iced coffee, I don't know. I mean, sometimes I like a hot coffee, like just when I'm using like my at-home coffee machine. But iced coffee is just the whole feeling of getting an iced coffee. That was like the thing that got me through quarantine when I finally started going to like get myself an iced coffee. It was like kind of scary because we all didn't know, like, is that going to give you, like, are you going to get COVID from doing that? So I didn't get iced coffee for like 5 months. And then that was the thing me and my younger sister would do together. We'd drive and get iced coffee. It was our little adventure for the day.
Actually, quarantine was what like made me like coffee. I never really drunk it before, and then I started making it when it was like the whipped coffee trend, and then since then
Oh,
I've been like,
all right.
I can't believe I didn't like it before, but yeah.
Well, I was wondering because I assumed, because you're coffee chats, I assumed that you were based in America because aren't you guys tea?
Yeah, but I don't actually like tea.
Okay,
It's
nuanced.
it's just not like, my whole family loves it, but nah, it just doesn't have a taste to me. Like, I'm drinking fruit tea right now. I like that, but like,
Yeah, I like green tea.
yeah.
All right, sorry, I got sidetracked.
No, it's fine. I like it when it gets like chatty. So let's do an outline of what you do. So college, TikTok, and all of that jazz.
So I'm a senior at the University of Southern California in beautiful Los Angeles. I'm studying communication and a minor in business, and I'm going to graduate in like 2 weeks from now. So that is absolutely insane. But besides that, I also work customer experience at a company called Funboy, and I've loved working for them. I've worked for them pretty much my entire time at college. I was the president of my sorority for 2020, and then also TikTok is my like the newest addition to my extracurriculars. But it's so fun that like I hardly even think of it as like something that I do. It's just like instead of like watching TV at the end of my day, I'm like on TikTok, following TikToks and whatnot.
TikTok is so fun. Like, at first I was just watching them, and now I'm like, no, I actually want to make them. Like, they're so fun. I love doing like the little vlogs of my day. Like, it's just so fun. I don't know what it is. I think it's because it's such a like new thing, and like it's just so fun.
Yeah, it helps you like romanticize your life a little bit. One of my favorite things about watching everyone do their hot girl walk vlogs is like when they vlog it and they like romanticize it, they'll put on a cute outfit and they have all these like shots that they like I know they took like set it up and whatever, but those are my favorite TikToks that people tag me in. And that's kind of how I started the hot girl walk, because I was just like romanticizing my daily walk.
Yeah. So we've mentioned the hot girl walk. What is the hot girl walk? And yeah, like, what is it for people that don't know?
All right. So the hot girl walk is a 4 mile outdoor mindfulness walk. It's preferably done outdoors, but I understand that sometimes people face some harsh weather conditions. But there's only one rule about the hot girl walk, and that's you can only think of 3 things. One, things you're grateful for. Two, your goals and how you're going to achieve them. And then, of course, last but not least, how hot you are.
Yeah, and I think it's so great. It's just like, I think for me, because I'm not really that into exercise, and you can actually like you don't get too sweaty, you don't get like too out of breath, but it's just nice, and you get into like such a great mindset if you do it at the start of the day.
Right. It's like, I think it accomplishes a lot of different things for different people. Like some people who are looking for a workout regimen, they want to get back into working out. Walking is such a great form of exercise. It gets you up, it gets you moving. But then there's that added aspect of like mindfulness and gratitude and all those things that set you up for your day and make you feel good. And so I think it can benefit you no matter what your goals are, whether you're the kind of person who's like lifting every single day at the gym, or and you already feel like you've achieved your fitness goals, or you feel like you want to get back into it, or whatever. Fitness really isn't your thing. It's just such a great way to be active and give some time to yourself, because I mean, we just talked about like what my day-to-day looks like. I was so busy all the time. And so it was really my hour and a half, hour, 15 minutes to do something for myself and to hype myself up and feel confident and feel good, because the rest of my day is loan to doing things for other people. Obviously, I benefit a lot from helping people, and I love my work and I love my school, but it's just the one time that I have to focus on myself.
Yeah, I was gonna ask actually, how do you manage to fit it in? Because I think that's my main thing. Like, I would love to go on a walk every day, and like some days I do. Like, I'll go a few days where I do it every day, but then like I'll have an extra meeting or something, and I just don't fit it in. So yeah, what is your like tactic for fitting it in?
My tactic for fitting it in is people's least favorite part, because they're like, oh, I cannot do that. I get up at like 6:15 and I try to leave at like 6:45 in the morning.
I love that.
And it honestly, like, this comes, I am not a morning person. I need to say that right now. People always think like, oh, you must be such a morning person. Like, that is absolutely not me since like such a young age. But one, for the first 2 hours when I'm waking up, like, I am barely even a person. The first 2 miles of my hawker walk, I'm just like not even like thinking. I'm just like kind of walking. So I figure like if I'm gonna get up, I might as well, start my hawker walk. And then after about like a mile or 2 miles or whatever, I'm like, wow, I am so glad that like I got myself to get out of bed and start my walk. And for those people who like need motivation or need to figure out how to get yourself up, you just need to get yourself up one time. You just need to try it once. Because once you do it once, you'll be like, that was not as bad as I thought. Like, it is literally just walking. Like, I've gotten up at that time for like a workout class, and those are so hard to get up for, because you're like, oh, I'm about to like grind for so long, but it's literally just a walk. It's such an easy start to your day. And honestly, I go to bed every single night excited to wake up the next morning for my walk.
That's so good. And also, I feel like it's great because you're getting outside first thing in the morning and getting like some fresh air and the sun on your skin and that.
Right. And you get to see the sunrise sometimes. And this is probably like, I mean, this is an added bonus, but then I tell people, I'm like, yeah, I've been up since 6, like already walked, like did my walk. And I feel like I just feel accomplished.
Mm.
And I love my friend and I usually try to bring a friend or a roommate, and we always are like, oh, we've been up since 6. And we tell pretty much everyone we come across in the day, just because it's like, you kind of can wear it like as a badge of honor. Like, yeah, I already hit my halter walk today. And so if nothing else can motivate you, then maybe that will. And also iced coffee.
Yeah.
Always
Yeah,
iced coffee.
when I went yesterday, I like went on a walk and then stopped and got a drink on my way, which was good.
Oh, perfect.
Um,
Perfect. That's the way to do it. My first half, sometimes I'll grab a coffee at the end, but lately I've been awful and I'll grab a coffee like halfway through, and I'm just like, I'm gonna hold it and do my hawker walk with my coffee.
yeah, it's nice. So there's quite like two aspects to it, like we've said, the mental aspect of the mindfulness part, and then also the more physical aspect. So I feel like they're both interlinked and you can't really have one without the other, which is another reason why I think this whole thing is so great. So yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I can definitely talk about that. And you're totally right when you say that they can't exist without one another. Because in my opinion, fitness is just as much for your mind as it is for your body. If you're doing something like very difficult, some hard hit training, you need to have some power and strength in your mind to be able to push yourself through that. But then that also translates in your day to day, because like I'm a college student, let's be honest, like sometimes like it's not so easy to get myself through this 10-page paper, or I don't know, any other kind of stuff that I need to do that day. And so exercising should help you prepare for that mental stamina that you can use in your whole life. And so having that walk is so, to me, it's like 4 miles, like that is just a mental boundary a lot of people have to just get past. Because I, like, if you wear an Apple Watch, you know that you definitely probably walk more than 4 miles a day when everything in the world is open. But it's just a matter of using that time in a way that's more beneficial than it is just, okay, the movement, that's really good, but using that time to work on yourself and to start to build that confidence and the strength that you need to get through everything else that's in your day.
Yeah, that was actually going to be my next thing. Like, how do you take those practices from the walk and put them into place throughout your day?
I would say I don't really do, I guess I do affirmations. I mean, my thought process in my walk is like, usually I start out in a kind of bad mood sometimes. I mean, it's 6 in the morning. That it happens. I'm not always in a good mood all the time. So I'll start out maybe kind of bummed on myself, but that's where I feel like recognizing the things that you've already accomplished comes in. Because once you realize, you know what, I've accomplished this in my past. I got an A on my paper yesterday. I got an A on my test. I made a really great meal that I'm really proud of yet last night. And congratulating yourself for it and being proud of those small accomplishments in your day, and then also focusing on the other things in your life that make them great. I mean, I always say, like, I'm so lucky to be in Los Angeles, and I say it as much as I can because I really am. It's so beautiful here. And I feel like if you're not being grateful for the things that you have, you can get really stuck in the weeds and stuck instead of the things that make life difficult sometimes. And so one of the things that I'm really grateful for is that I'm really hot and amazing. And maybe that's, like, regardless of whether that's true or not, that's what I'm telling myself. That's my internal monologue all the time. So then later in the day, I have a task that I need to complete. Like, no worries, I got it. I'm a hawk girl. Do my hawk girl walk. CEO of hawk girl walk. I can do it. No problem.
That is such a great mindset. Yeah. So the last question about the walks is, where did the idea come from and how did you kind of, like, how did it all start in the first place?
Yeah, so the hawk girl walk really started because I was in a really difficult place in my life. I was really stressed out with school and with life and living through a global pandemic. And I really missed the exercise routine that I had before COVID. And I started getting really down on myself. And on TikTok, it seemed that the only way that you can be confident is if you have an ab, if you have shredded abs from all these workouts that weren't sustainable for me, or you have this like runner body, and I was on runner TikTok for a really long time, because if you go on a 30-minute run, that burns X amount more calories than a walk or whatever. And so I was really looking for some kind of exercise that was sustainable for me, that I liked, because at the end of the day, you can exercise all you want, you can take as many classes as you want, but if it's not something that is sustainable or something that you enjoy doing, then it's not going to be beneficial for you in any way. So I was like, okay, I need to find something. I can't run. I have bad knees. It hurts my body, and I hate every minute of running. But one of my really good friends, Caitlin, she would always be on these walks, and I was like, girl, how far do you walk? And she's like, well, about like sometimes 3, sometimes 6 miles. And I'm like, bro, what the heck? And I just like looked at my neighborhood, saw that there was a 4-mile lake, which is why it's 4 miles. And I said, all right, I guess I'll give it a try. And then when I went on the walks, I started kind of thinking to myself, because I love a soul cycle class and I love things like that. I love feeling motivated by other people. And I said to myself, well, why don't I just be my own motivator? Why don't I just put that internal monologue in myself? Like, I don't need somebody else telling me that I can do it, because I can tell myself that. And along the way, I kind of met up with the voice in my head that I don't really like, the voice in my head that tells me that I can't do things, or the voice in my head that tells me I'm not good enough. And I kind of, on my walks, it took like a few where I was kind of like looking at that voice, meeting that person in my head and being like, yo, like, why are you so mean to me? Like, why are you so mean to me? And just kind of working through that. And then that's kind of how I came up with that one rule, or the 3 things that you think about, and solidifying it. And then my sorority actually encouraged me to like share it on TikTok, share my classes on TikTok, because I'd tell them like, oh my gosh, every morning I've been doing this, a hot girl walk, and I just started calling it that, and they were all like, you need to post about this on TikTok, it's gonna blow up. And I was like, no way. And here it is.
Yeah, they were right. Yeah, so I was actually going to ask about TikTok. How did it sort of blow up, and what is it? I find this really interesting, how it must feel to suddenly have like a TikTok that just blows up, because whenever I post a TikTok, like, I know my TikTok's probably not going to blow up, but whenever I post a TikTok, like before I go to bed, I'm like, this could like blow up every night, and it's quite a like scary thought, because there's literally no control over what TikToks blow up and which ones like just don't.
Right. I actually had a few TikToks that did really well, like a few of me and my sister, but I think I really wasn't afraid of this video blowing up. I really wanted it to, because it was something that I was really proud of, and it was something that I stand behind and I was confident in. And so I felt like that fear went away. Whereas like I've definitely posted like back way long ago, where like posting like some stuff with me and my sister, and like we were just being like goofballs, and then when it blows up, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing, like whatever. But still, I mean, I stand behind everything I post, which is why I post it. And it's definitely one of those things where it's like, think before you post. And I've been on the back end of social media for so long because of the companies that I worked for, and my younger sister being really TikTok famous, and just through life kind of realizing that you should always present yourself with intention and with confidence, and you should always stand behind fully everything that you post on the internet, and then also thinking before you speak. And so I try to hold myself to that standard, and it definitely it's nobody's perfect, you know, we all make mistakes. Yeah. So I definitely wasn't super scared, but it's weird because all of those numbers, like they just look like numbers like on my screen. Yeah. But then it's when people DM me and say things like, this has changed my life, or this is the reason that I got out of bed for the first time in 4 months. And it's those like one-on-one interactions that to me mean more than anything else. And just like remembering that, just remembering how many people are a part of this community, it's actually insane.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. Like the hashtag has so, I was looking earlier when I was like researching, the hashtag has so many views. Like
I think it's definitely over 6 million views.
I think it was like 7 point something when I looked.
Oh my goodness. I haven't checked it in like a few days, so it must have just gone over that. But I do my best to try to watch like everyone's videos, everyone's little posts on the hashtag. But it's crazy. But I'm so happy that so many people have taken this up.
Yeah, it is amazing. So the last thing I kind of wanted to talk about was college. So you go to USC, and I don't really know that much about, well, I guess I know some stuff, but the American kind of school system as a whole is very different to the English system. So what I've kind of gathered is that you applied to USC and you really wanted to go there, but you didn't get in, and then you appealed it and you got in. Is that right?
Yes. So from what I know about the UK school system, it's pretty much the same, but in America, I'm sure if you kind of like look it up, there's a few schools in the country that are like ranked and they're viewed as like the top schools, and therefore they get really low acceptance rate. And that's like the Ivy League system. And that's like colleges like Harvard, Cornell. I can't think of any more, but
yeah, I get you.
There's definitely kind of that that culture surrounding colleges, and the University of Southern California has definitely gone up the ranks, and rightfully so. We have like it's such a great institution in terms of academia, social, just kind of the networking opportunities, pretty much everything. So USC has an increasingly lower acceptance rate as the year goes on. So more people every year keep getting rejected. And my older brother went to USC, so I was like, oh yeah, I'll get into USC. I mean, like I've definitely the hot girl look has given me a lot of confidence, but I've always kind of had that like confidence in myself. And it was not misplaced confidence because I did pretty well in high school, but I was like, oh yeah, 100%, like I'll get into USC, like whatever. And then when I didn't get in, I was absolutely crushed. And I felt like all of the work that I did in high school just was completely fruitless. And I had a lot of really negative feelings about it. And I felt like it was a very difficult time. And I'm sure that resonates with a lot of people who are going through the college admission process right now. So what I ended up doing was writing USC a letter saying, you know what, I know you rejected me, but your kind of the motto at USC is fight on. So I said, this is me fighting on and showing you that I'm not going to let rejection hold me back from being the best I can be, maybe not at USC, but definitely at another school. And I sent the letter in and kind of forgot about it and accepted an offer at another school, and they let me in just by an email. And I was in shock, but I was so grateful that they let me in. But I definitely grappled with like a lot of feelings of imposter syndrome. Like they rejected me at first, like they don't want me. I feel like I don't belong. I feel like I need to work harder than everybody else. But that feeling of having to work harder than everybody else, I feel like really motivated me in my 4 years here.
Yeah, it must be so crazy that you're about to graduate. Like what we call college uni. So I will graduate next year, and I say thank you.
Oh, where do you go?
I go to Bath Spa. So it's like there's 2 unis in the city of Bath, and it's like one of them.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You guys have my brother went to King's for a semester as part of study abroad, and he was saying that like the testing system that you guys have is so intimidating and nothing like we experience in the US.
Yes, it's like, I think actually it depends a bit on what uni you go to, but like I think the whole admissions, we have to get like certain grades in our A levels that we do like when we're 18, and then that's how we get into uni. And then like we're only at uni for 3 years, which I know is different as well. Yeah, I don't know, like it's definitely different, I think, but I can't remember what I was going to say. Yeah, like I know for me the testing has been very much like assignments and stuff, but I know at some unis it's very
Okay, that's good.
it's like
You
you
got,
have exams at the end of the year and that's like it, which I would hate.
yeah, that's what my brother experienced. He was like, it is so stressful. It's just, I guess, different from how we do it in the US, where we have like assignments all year and then maybe an exam at the end of the year. But the exam is just like proctored by our professors. Like, it's not like you go into a testing hall, and that just sounds so stressful to me.
Yeah, I've been pretty I think it's partially because of COVID. They like changed, so I was meant to have
Yeah.
it, but they like changed it for my course, and I think my uni is a bit like it does that, like more coursework rather than assignment, like rather than exams. But yeah, like it is a lot because I had them when I was like trying to get into uni, and they
Mm-hmm.
stressful.
Yeah, we have like standardized testing to get into uni or college here. Um, and that's definitely notoriously stressful for high school students, but I think they're changing it a lot, which is good.
That's good. Yeah. King's is like one of, because you said about like you have Ivy League, we have like Russell Group, and that's like Oxford and
Mm-hmm.
Cambridge and King's, I think. So yeah, that's another reason like they are so prestigious that they're very,
Right, they have that really rigorous program.
yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, I'm like, wow, I didn't know my brother went to like such a good, he got pretty set up there.
Yeah, I'm
he
pretty
loved
sure with them.
he
It's definitely,
loved his time in London. He and I was supposed to go and study abroad, but obviously COVID
oh, that's so,
prohibited me, so I have to come soon. I'm fully vaccinated, so hopefully that'll be good for the summer.
yeah, I'm sure it will be. I hope so. Right. So I was talking to my sister about the fact that you went to USC, and she was like, isn't that the school that because we watched the college admissions documentary
Mm-hmm.
thing, and I was like, oh yeah. So I wanted to know, like, does that kind of have like an effect on the school still now, or like has it affected like how many people want to go to the school, or like the image of the school in any way?
I think that I know exactly what we're talking about, how there was that whole admission scandal. And coming from somebody who was rejected from USC, watching that documentary really struck a chord for me, because I was like, I've been there where all of those kids have, and I'm sure that there was somebody in my grade that got in through not non-kosher means. And it's just really sad that people feel like they need to do that for their kid, and that there aren't other fantastic schools in America and in California even, but it's just become such a competitive environment that kids are getting like as I said earlier, the acceptance rates are at an all-time low. And it's definitely, I know they talk about this, that there are like so many other schools, and I'm sure people would have rather been at a school where they felt like they fit better, where they could still pursue their YouTube career and enjoy college and not take a kid's spot. Because in America, as I said, we have those like testings. I don't know if you guys have those too, but I felt really privileged in the fact that I was able to get a tutor to study for my, I took the ACT, and I had a counselor at my high school who was helping me with college applications, and both of my parents went to college, and I'm already in such a privileged spot, but to feel the need to go the extra mile and go in through the quote unquote side door is just another echelon of privilege. But I think that it brought a lot of really important things to light. I don't think it changed. I think it started to change that culture, that highly competitive culture and the expectations that high school students in America have. So I think it's definitely starting a lot of change. And I know that USC did some huge cultural changes following that. So I think it was definitely helpful that it all came to light, but for me, it wasn't super surprising.
Yeah, like I don't know here to what extent that happens, but I can imagine we have some very prestigious, like private secondary schools, so like high school, and the acceptance rate into like Oxford and Cambridge from those schools, probably mostly because of how prestigious those schools are, and like obviously the people at those schools get so much, like they're so privileged, is extremely high. So I guess in that way it's probably the same here, and there's probably stuff that I don't know about that goes on the same, but I don't know. But yeah.
Right. At the end of the day, I'm so grateful that I was able to get into USC and to have the access to things that people were paying like half millions of thousands of dollars on. And so I'm really grateful that I'm able to have access to that. I forgot what else I was saying. I got kind of distracted.
I can't remember. But what was I going to say? I thought of something as well, but I've forgotten. I was going to say, and like, education is such a privilege in general that I feel like no matter where you go, you're just lucky to have an education. And yeah, it's just so exciting that like you're at the school that you really wanted to go to through sort of your own confidence to go that extra mile to like prove that you really wanted to go there.
Yeah, my whole experience at USC has been, I mean, people ask me all the time about my experience and whether it's worth it or whether I like it. And in my opinion, all of the stress of high school and all of the work that I put in to get to where I am, graduating from USC, was so worth it. I mean, I took every opportunity I could at USC, and I think no matter where you go, you can do that. You can put in everything that you have and read every single page of every single reading that you're assigned, and just continue to be so grateful for this immense privilege to be studying wherever you are, because it people would be so excited to be where you are, and it's kind of definitely paid off for me. I'm super excited to be going into the professional world. I have a job for when I graduate, so that's really exciting. But I feel like the skills and the confidence that I've developed at USC it's just, there's no price on that to me.
Yeah,
every all-nighter worth it.
And also just the life experience and all the people that you meet and everything, like no matter where you go, it's just, yeah, it is an amazing experience.
Right. No matter where you go, if you put your whole self into it, you'll get so much out of your college experience.
Yeah, definitely. So that's pretty much everything except for the last question, which is something that I ask everyone, and I always feel really bad because I still haven't thought of my answer to this. And that is, what is the best advice that you've ever been given?
Okay, I have two.
Okay.
My first piece of advice, I have to say, because it's kind of like in my family, but my dad's dad always says, think of it as an adventure. So whenever we feel like life is really stressful, and it was so annoying during quarantine when my dad was like, you know what my dad always said, like, think of it as an adventure. And we were like, Dad, like, we're suffering. But it definitely has some meaning to it, because if you get stuck and feeling sad about the challenges and the obstacles that you face, then you're never going to get anywhere. So think of it as an adventure, because 100% you're going to be thinking about that in a year and being like, oh my gosh, remember when I did that? That was so hard. Or, oh my gosh, remember when I did that? That was so funny. And you can laugh about it in a year. So that's one of the best pieces of advice I've ever gotten. And then the next piece of advice is, don't want to get hit by a car because I'm
Yeah, be careful.
crossing the street. But the next piece of advice is, I'm gonna totally butcher this, but it's something to the effect of, imagine one day after you pass in life, and you're looking back on your whole life, and you look at the things that you've always wanted to achieve, and you see that you had the means and the tools to achieve at least one of those, but you chose not to for one reason or another, and you made excuses for yourself, then how would that make you feel? And so to me, like, that was another one of the things that I would think about, like, while I was on my hawker walks, like, do I have the means to accomplish this goal? Yes. That means that there is no excuse from this point forward. I have to do it. And so that's a really good motivating one.
Yeah, I love that. And with the first one, also, like, when, like, I was thinking about it, like, with quarantine, everyone's learned so much about themselves through quarantine. So yeah, I guess it was an adventure.
Oh yeah, for me it definitely was. I feel like I am a completely different person from when I went into quarantine to now. I mean, like, just completely different. I would have never seen myself here, but definitely feel like I grew a lot, and I'm glad that it turned out for me that way. And I was able to use that time and space to grow and work on myself. So I'm glad I did, because first half of quarantine, I was wallowing. I was like getting over a breakup. Oh my goodness. Woe is me. How bad do I feel for myself? Everything is going wrong. But we are in a global pandemic. So of course, like, everything's going wrong. Like, what the heck? So I just stopped feeling sorry for myself and said, I have so much to be grateful for. So that's the kind of attitude I have.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I really enjoyed this, and you've inspired me for, well, maybe not in the morning because it's like 11 p.m, maybe in the afternoon, to go for a walk tomorrow. So
Oh, definitely do it.
yeah, I think I will. I think I'm meant to be meeting my friends, so maybe we'll go for a walk.
Yeah, go with your friends. I try not to go alone because it's just kind of scary. I'm wearing like a hoodie, hiding. I'm in incognito.
Yeah, it is scary to go on a walk. Like, when I went early the other morning, I was like, okay, just gonna be like in the public areas.
Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of safety tips on my TikTok.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say about that.
Yeah. So you can check out my TikTok for my safety tips. But I won't keep you any longer. I know it's late for you.
Yeah, and everything will be linked down below. So if you do want to check out her TikTok and learn more about it, then you can do.